Hi, welcome to the session. Today we will discuss about Blender and the navigation tools of the Blender and the shortcut keys, all those things we're going to discuss today. So the first thing is that this is Blender interface. You can download it easy from the internet. Just go to Google and type Blender, then it'll open a website where you can download the recent version of the Blender. And since Blender is an open source software, you're allowed to download that version and you can install it on any of the machines. So the first thing you have to do is if you hold your middle mouse button, when I say hold, when you click and hold your middle mouse button, and when you move your mouse, this is what we call as a tumble. So the moment when you open this Blender, you would get by default a cube. So just click on the middle mouse button and hold the mouse button and move. This is called tumble, where the camera is rotating around the object. Then now when you hold the shift key plus the middle mouse button, then this is called panning or tracking, where you could able to position the 3D model wherever you would like. Then all you have to do is you have to just use your mouse scroll to dolly, where the camera goes towards the 3D model. Okay, and if you wanna bring the object to the center of your screen, then all you have to do is press the dot key on your numpad. Once you press the dot key on the numpad, then this will bring your 3D model to the center of your screen. So imagine if a 3D model is somewhere around here. Okay, if you want to bring it to the center of your screen, then all you have to do is just press the dot key on your numpad. So now the 3D model is at the center of your screen. So these are the basic shortcut keys to work around. And the next thing is if you want to delete or if you want to create a new object, what you have to do is you have to press Shift A. When you press Shift A, you will get a menu there at the left. Then from there, you can get a mesh. Then you will get a plane or cube or circle. But the moment when you create it, it will appear at the center of your grid. This platform, this is called a grid. So any object you create, that always appears at the center of your grid. So here you could see that this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis line. That's why the y-axis is in green color and x-axis is in the red color. So the up and down is the z-axis, is the z-axis. If you ever want to verify this, you can go to the right side of the top section. There you can find a compass there, which is an x-axis, this is the red, and y-axis is the green, and the z is from the top to bottom. Okay, these are three things. So I want you guys to get familiarized with the middle mouse button and shift middle mouse button, then also the mouse scroll to dolly. So these are the essential shortcut keys that you need to be thorough before you start doing any of your 3D modeling. Now, what if you want to create a new object? So first thing is I want to delete this object in the scene. So let's click this object here in the scene, then press X. Then if it asks you for a confirmation, then press delete. So that's it. So you could be able to delete the object in the scene in this way, or you can just select the object and you can press the delete key on your keyboard. Now I'm going to press Shift A, then I'm going to create mesh. Then there you can find all the three objects there. So now I'm going to create a cube again. Look at that. So now the cube is appearing at the center of my grid. From here, I could be able to move, or what if I want to move the object in the x-axis? So let's press G. G is for grab. So when you press G on the keyboard, then you could be able to move the object. Wherever your mouse goes, the 3D object goes in that direction. Okay, so whereas I don't want to move my object in all three directions, like X, Y, and Z. No, I want to move the object only in the x-axis here. So once you press G, then the first thing you should do is you should press X. Once you press X, then when you just move your mouse, you don't need to left click anything or right click anything. When you just move your mouse, now the object is locked into the x-axis. Now the object could be able to move only in the x-axis. Great. If you want to confirm, if you want to confirm this, just click, make a click. That's it. Now it's fine. Now it's confirmed. Now if you want to move it in the y-axis, then press G, which is you grabbed it. Now which axis you want to move? Y. Then hit Y on the keyboard. Great. Then make a click for confirmation. Now if you want to move the z-axis, press G, then Z. That's great. Okay. And what if you want to rotate an object? Then G is for grab and R is for rotate. So when you press R, you get the rotation to activate it. Okay. But you should tell the system in which way you want to go. Okay. If you want to cancel the operation, you can always press right click. So now I'm going to press R. I would like to rotate only in my y-axis, so press Y. Now if you rotate, you could see that the object is rotating only in the y-axis. I want to right click, which means a cancel. Great. Now I'm going to press R and press X. Now you could see that the object is rotating around the X-axis. I will right click to cancel. Similarly, when you want to Z-axis, press R and Z. Yeah. If you want to confirm, give left click or here you give right click. I prefer to do undo, so it will come back to the initial state. I do undo. Great. Now, if you want to scale, the same thing. Press S for scaling. Now it will scale around all the axes. But what if I want to scale only in one axis, which is only in the X-axis? Then press X. Look at that. Great. Click. Now in the Y-axis, then press S, then Y. Then in the Z-axis, then press S and Z. Now we know exactly how this main or basic tools work in Blend. Okay, I'm going to hit delete key for deleting. Great. Now I'm going to press Shift A, then again a mesh. I will start with the cube. And why we always start with the cube in 3D modeling? Because that will be much easier. So any structure, most of the structures in the real world around the buildings around us or the object around us, all the furnitures around us, everything you see in the real world, mostly they are form of a basic primitive, which is a cube. So with the help of a cube, you can able to model many of the human made surfaces. So if you want to make a table, that is easy again. All you have to do is just scale this object in the x-axis and y-axis. So when you press S, then if you press X, you can be able to scale them. Great. Then S, Y. Great. Now you might feel like, do I have to do this twice? So is there any way that I could do it in a different way? Like now when you hold Shift Z, okay, now this is going to scale only in the X and Y axis, not the Z axis. Okay, so that is one shortcut key. Now, if I want to scale this down in the Z axis, so press S and Z. That's it. Now you can see that you could be able to scale it down. Okay, so there's an easy way. And what if I want to get a proper look of this object? My suggestion is do not try to work in the perspective view. Whatever the view that we are working now, we call this as a perspective view. So the best way to work is to always go to any of the orthographical views, such as the top view or front view or side view. So in Blender, if you want to switch to the top view, because I want to get a clear picture of the 3D model, because here everything is a perspective. I'm not sure about whether the object is the proper shape or structure, because when you look at the hair, you could able to get the object which is far is smaller, the object with the point where closer to the camera is larger, the point which is far from the camera is smaller. So I'm not getting a clear picture whether the shape is proper or not. So I prefer always to go or switch my viewports. So the one thing how can I switch to viewports? You can press the tilde key, and there you can switch to left view. Just left view 3D model. Then again press tilde key, then go for top view. Okay, or you can press tilde key, then you can switch to other views as well. So I can go for a right view, or you can just middle click your mouse and move. You could come back to normal state. Okay, now there is a shortcut key also for that. When you press 7 on your numpad, that's the top view. Okay, then 1 will be your left view and 3 will be your right view. So they're obvious. And if you, for some reason, if you're unable to get that, you can click on this Z, will take you to the top view, then X is for the right view and Y is for the front view. Great, so that'll work. Again, middle click and drag, that'll work. Now, when you go to the 7, great. Now press S and Y. Look at that. That is fine. Yeah. So, and great. And if you want to make a duplicate of this object, then all you have to do is press Shift D. Shift D is a duplicate. Now you can see here, a new object has been created. In your scene collection, you could see that a new object has been created. Okay. So when you press Shift D, you could see a new object will get created here. Now I'm going to select this object and press Shift D. Great. Now I'm going to press Z. Now that object is duplicated and is pushed in here. You can see that. Great. If you want to move further, press G and Z. Great. I want to reduce the scale around the Z axis. So press S, Z. and reduce it a little bit. Now, what is next? I would like to create legs for this 3D model for the table. So all I do is I want to create a leg. So let me just shift right click here. So wherever you make a shift right click, you could be able to create object there. So let me just make my shift right click here. So now look at that. So now the next object I'm going to create will be created here. So I'm planning to create a cube that will be created here now, but the shape will be bigger. I have to scale it to the z-axis. So let's press Shift A to create a new object there and go for mesh and cube. Now you can see a cube is there. I'm going to scale it down. So press S and I want to scale it on all the axes. So let me just scale it down. Great. Now I would like to scale only in the z-axis. So press S is Z. Now scale it down. That's fine. Now I want to move them. So G is for grab, and yes, Z is for the move. I would like to scale it down a little. So S is Z. Great. Then move G is Z. It's done. Okay. Now I would like to switch to my top view, which is by pressing 7, or you can press the tilde key and go for the top. Great. So here's the tool. I can just press G. I could move it here to the bottom. Something like this. Now let's scale it in the X and in the Y. So SX a little bit, then SY a little bit. Great. Now when you middle click, you can see that this is how the object is. So let me press my 3 key, which is on the one of the right view. Now I would like to move it a little upside. So press G, Z. That's fine. Great. Now I would like to duplicate one object and put it here. So let's press Shift D. Now G and Y. Now look at that. That's cool. Now we created only 2 legs there. So shift select one leg, then shift select the second leg or second object. Now I would like to switch to the front view. Okay, the back view is, if you switch there, that's a front view. Okay, just yeah. Now I'm in the front view. I could see it here, the front. Now I would like to press Shift D, then X. That's it. I could able to move. I could able to duplicate both the legs now, and I'm moving it to the X axis. Now make a left click for confirmation. Great. Now middle click your mouse and move. So here is your table. Great. And if you'd like to adjust them, just select these 2 legs, then press, I'm sorry, press G, Y, W mode. Okay. That's fine. So this is one table we created, and if you'd like to make some changes on the table, yeah, you can do it. When you select the table, you could see that when you press Tab key, when you press the Tab key, you could able to select, or you could be able to make changes in this table. How is it possible? When you select the object by default, we call this as an object mode. In object mode, what you can do is you can just move the object by pressing G, or you can rotate the object. Sorry. Yeah. Or you can rotate an object by pressing R, or you can scale the object by pressing S. So these are the 3 things you can do with the help of this. Okay, in the object mode. But in the component mode, you can able to edit the shape of the stream model. So how to do that? Please select the model, then press Tab key on your keyboard. Once you press Tab, your menus will differ here, and you'll get a new option here. On at the top, you can find the vertex mode, edge mode, and the face mode. So in the vertex mode, when you select the vertex mode, you could able to select the vertices and you could able to move them. You see that? You could able to move the vertex however you wish. Right click. Now again, you can go for edge mode, you can select the edges and you can move them. Again, press G, you can move the edges. Right click. Similarly, you can select the face, then you could able to move or scale, you could do anything you want. Okay, great. Now, is there a shortcut key to do that? Of course. When you press 1, it's for vertex mode. When you press 2, it is for edges mode. When you press 3, that is for the face mode. Now, when you press Tab, now you are back to object mode. In the object mode, you cannot edit the shape of a 3D model. Okay, you can only move, rotate, or scale. But if you want to edit a component mode, or if you want to edit the object, you have to switch from the object mode to component mode. So we call this the object mode. You could see it there. Then the moment when you press tab, now you're in the edit mode. So now in the edit mode or the component mode, you can able to select the components by pressing 1 for vertex, 2 for edges, and 3 for faces. Now you can select, make a selection and work on. Now I select the top face here. Great. Now let me press I. I is inset. Then once you press I, just move the mouse. You don't need to make a left click or right click. Just move the mouse. You could be able to see a new shape from from the same axis flatly is created. Yeah. Now make a left click. Now look at that. You created a new extra section there. Now, why are we creating this? Now I would like to create an extrude or push the shape a little inwards. So I'm going to press E. E is for extrude. Either you can pull out or you can push. Again, you don't need to left click or right click. All you have to do is just move. Look at that. Okay, so this is much easier. When you press E, you could able to move the shape left or right, or however you wish you to do that. Okay, hope you guys understood. So this is an easy way you can create shapes with the help of this extrude. And if you'd like to connect these two shapes, you can just connect them by extruding them. You can do anything like this. And for example, if you'd like to extrude this face, just select this one. So you press tab. Now these are individual shapes. So select this leg here. Okay. Then when you press tab, then switch to 3 is the face mode. Now you can select the face, and if you want, you can extrude it. Okay. So let's do this. If you want to extrude this, press E. You can extrude the shape again. You see that? So that's an easy way. And so this is how you create 3D models easily with the help of Blender, and you could be able to edit the shape. And now, what if I want to select these objects and I want to group them? So there are many ways you could do that. You can either do the parenting or you can do the joining. So the one thing is I just select all the objects here, all the shapes here. But before that, make sure you are in the object mode. So switch to object mode. Great. Now I could be able to select all the objects here in the scene. Great. Now press Control J. Control J is for joining the group. Now you're in the group. So now you could see there, this is the cube 3. So maybe I could just double click that and name it as table. Great. Now you can turn it off. Now the table is off. Now you can work on the rest of the things. Now the scene is empty. You can, by any bit of time, you can take the file back. Great. Now, if you're trying to work on a table or any of the shapes, the same way you have to work. Okay, maybe like if you're trying to create a chair or something, again, the same thing. You can press Shift A, mesh, then you will get a cube. Okay. Now I press dot, so that will become the center of my object. Now, similarly, you can create this like press S and Z, you get the chair. Then from here, we're going to extrude the shape. So maybe I want to press Tab key here. Okay. Now I can able to make the shapes. But before that, I would like to make a section here because I want to extrude it to get this shape of a chair. But here I couldn't get the shape. Okay, so I have to make some sections here. So what I do is I press Control R. Once you press Control R, you can see that you'll get one loop, a new loop, yellow in color appears. So all you have to do is just make a left click and drag. Then now you could be able to move the sections. Now make a left click confirmation. Again, put your mouse here and press Control R, left click and drag. Great. Now you can put your mouse here and press Control R. Now the one thing with this is wherever you put the mouse, it will identify the position of the edges and it will create a perpendicular line. Here the lines are in the x-axis. So here when I put my mouse and press Control R, I will get in the y-axis. Okay, so what if you put your mouse here and presses, then you will get the line in the x-axis. So I put my mouse here and press Control R. Now look at that. Okay, so this is the way that you can create edges. You can create some insert edge loops, then you can create shapes out of this. Okay, so after this, it'll be much easier. Maybe if you want to move it further, I press G, X. Look at that. You can move it further. If you want to select the face, press 3. Now hold the shift key and make 4 selections. Now when you press E, see that? Great. Now similarly, you can just select this face and you can extrude them, then you'll get a chair. So let me just select this to, okay, E and Z. Now look at that. Great. Now I would like to move them little to the back. So press G and X. Fine. And if you want to create a shape, then I would like to make an insert edge loop here. So press Control R. Now look at that. Left click. Great. Now let me press Control R again here. Left click and drag. Again, left click. Great. Now I would like to select this face here. So by pressing 3, I can able to select the face. Now I would like to extrude in this y-axis. So I'm going to press E, then the y-axis. So press E and y-axis. Now look at that. This is a basic way of creating a 3D model. Now look at that. The chair is ready. So you have a table, then you have a chair. Okay, you can create as many objects simply just with the help of a cube.